We're starting again. And we're back with Andre Facote. We were talking about yarn and the yarn that they produced from recycled plastic from beach waste, essentially, something that was done in China for a period that has been done for a period of time. And Andre, you and your wife produced this. You went ahead and did this because you wanted to leave a legacy for your kids, and you found out nobody in Portugal wanted it, I guess. So,
Yeah.
what was that conversation like with your wife? We're going to have to do this ourselves?
Yeah, we start to think. So we have a very good product for that time. Right now it's not like the same yarn that we start to producing. Right now it's the quality is very high. I think that it impossible to improve more quality today or on that yarn.
Really?
But
Okay.
we start to think, so Portugal is very good in a lot of things. It's very good in fabrics or that transformation. So we are on it in without without with our yarn. Portugal is very good in wine, but we can produce wine with plastic yet. So
Fabric, wine, and football, right? Fabric, wine, and
yeah,
football.
football, yeah, and we are very good in shoemaking,
Oh,
in that production. That's we produce sneakers for the biggest luxury companies in the world here in Portugal. So we start to think, so why not? Why not we produce sneakers also? And this is our first product, the customized and handmade sneakers, because it's all made with artisans. So it's handmade,
mhm.
and we start to producing sneakers customized because we don't have money for stock at the beginning. And for that we give the opportunity to our clients to customize our product like they want or they
Mhm.
love, and we produce the products to the customers using just the right resources that the market needs. And we don't have the problem of stock because we don't have stock.
And Skizo, your company, Skizo, where can people go to order the sneakers? To your website, right?
Yeah, the website, we have a configurator, and they can customize it at their own taste, and they will see it's not the final product because it's 3D, like
Rendering. Yeah.
mock-up, the 3D mock-up, but it's like that.
Yeah, it looks very much like a finished product. And I want to point out a couple things. The cost of these is somewhere from 129 euros, I think, to 148. So, reasonably priced. But I want you to explain to everyone what you mean by mass customization, because Skizo is, I think, built on two things. One is, wanting to leave a legacy, recycling, doing something good for the earth. The other is this idea of mass customization. So I would explain it this way, then you can correct me if I'm wrong. But you can let people individually design their shoes, but produce them at this moment at a rate of like 500 a day, and it's
Mhm.
all online. So people can really have a shoe that is pretty unique to them, or at least to their taste, based on your template. Is that about right?
Yes, yes, yes. And we think that the mass customization could be the next revolution for all markets, not just for fashion, but
Right.
we
It's
are
already
talking.
happening in a
We are
lot of places. Yeah. I
yeah.
know the swimsuit company that's sort of doing something similar. And I also want you to talk about your manufacturing uh, capability. Your partners are not just random manufacturers, but some of them produce some of the finest couture
Yeah.
luxury goods for shoes. So tell us about your manufacturers.
Yes, that's why we start to produce our sneakers with them, because we visit our partners at the first time, and we saw all the boxes for the biggest luxury companies, and we start to think that we have to work with them because all the biggest companies that we love also, they produce with them. So we
Give
have
us
to work.
a couple of the names that they also work with, so people can
Yeah,
understand.
they produce Carolina Herrera, Gucci, Louboutin, Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger have the department of the design of sneakers and production of sneakers. It's in Portugal for
Oh, is that
Tommy
right?
Hilfiger company. Yeah, they moved the that department for Portugal because it's like the side of the factory that the produce their sneakers, and they send all the department for Portugal to
And
work besides of the company the factory.
also you have a little bit of an advantage because there is a consortium of universities in Europe that are in effect doing free research and development for Skizo for these
Mhm.
shoes and products. Is that right?
Yes, yes, we are working. It's not in Europe; it's just in Portugal.
Just in
Yeah, but yeah, we are one of the head of that consortium, leaders of that consortium, and we are working to transform old fish nets. That is one of the biggest problems also in our ocean. To transform that old fish nets and discarded fish nets into a new yarn, a new polyamide yarn, and they are working with us to make it possible. And we think next year we will have that new and also others that I can tell right now, but it's blue economy. It's in the same way like we always do. It's a blue economy. It's also from the ocean, and it's also for conserve the ocean and prevent all that issues that we
Yeah.
saw in the news. So that is our focus since our beginning.
Well, if you're in a country with 500 miles of beach, you're going to have a lot of fishermen, and if you're going to have a lot of fishermen, you're going to
Yeah,
have a lot of fishing nets
yeah.
that are no longer useful. So this is pretty exciting. Now, I also want to point out and ask you about the ability. Okay, it's one thing to do a sneaker; it's pretty complicated. But are you limited in what kind of products you can produce this way? And what do you think will be next for you? I'm sure you're thinking of other things as well, right?
Yes, we are working right now to make some to capitalize our company to receive investment because we want to make a line of production in house. And with that, because we don't have that stock because we use also all in our sneakers, but with that line of production in house, we can produce what we want: jackets, hats, t-shirts, swimwear, what we want. So that's why that is our next steps. Sneakers is a different product because it's we have to reach the quality that we have right now. It's a lot of know-how, and the company that work with us, um, it's a fourth generation company,
Mhm.
so we can't reach that know-how right now. So we stay with them, but all the other products our seamstresses can make it, and that is our next step to make
What
it
will, what
to
will
make
be
the
next?
product.
What will be next, Andre? And we're talking to Andre Facote of Skizo in Lisbon, Portugal. This is the accelerator with Michael Conniff. That's me. What product do you think will be next? And will you continue to use the concept and promote the concept of mass customization?
Yes, yes, right now we are working to make t-shirts for next spring and summer. here in Europe, and it will be the same idea, mass customization. We will have the T-shirt, and then the customer can customize with some details, with some colors, and we have a small text, in like in some near of the heart, um, telling what is Skizo and what we are doing, and that is the template, and then the customer can customize with with some small details to make it different, and to make it for them the unique piece for them. It's like we think like the big couture companies, or the big couture stylists. They produce in each spring or in each summer just one piece, or one piece for that product, and they sell just one piece. And we think like that, but in like I will say it again, in mass customization, because we think that that could be the next revolution in all sectors. But in fashion, indeed, we need that, because fashion is the second most polluted sector in the world. So we need to make something different.
And people can order the shoes now. What's your website? What's the
Our
address?
website is skizoshoes.com. And
Skizo shoes.com. So you can go
yeah,
right there and see this mass customization in place. And I
yes,
also wanted to say you're in the midst of raising 300,000 to a half a million euros in a seed round. And I talk a lot on this program and a lot when I'm not on the air about storytelling and how important storytelling is. And I was very much taken by your story. It's such a great story because you've got kids, and it's like a Disney story, right? You got kids, you've got a great motive, you're pulling it off, you're doing it with your wife. All those things are exciting. And it was such a good story that I actually told a venture capitalist about it, whose name I am not going to tell yet because we don't want to jinx this because it's not a done deal. But the venture capitalist interested in some of the same things, speaking the same language as you, which I think is important. Um, and I think that that really shows what you've accomplished first and foremost, but also, the power of the power of the story to get the message across. And um, I recently, if you'll allow me to just go on a little longer about this, I recently was asked to do an outline for storytelling for startups, and it was for a different country. And I said, I don't know anything about this country. How can I do this? Talk about entrepreneurs and startups. And they said, well, everybody wants to be American. Don't worry about it. But the key thing uh, in that storytelling for startups, which I've put on the accelerator uh, with Michael Conniff page on Substack, where we also have a newsletter. So you can go look at it if you want to. I said the key thing is authenticity. It has to
yeah,
come from a personal place, and I think,
yeah,
uh, and then, so I sort of said you have to get your story straight as an entrepreneur. Like, why are you doing this? Why does this matter to you? And
yeah,
then you bring that into the company and you kind of infuse that into the culture of the company. So my question for you, pretty much my final question, is how do you get that philosophy, that feeling, that motivation into the culture of the company? Because it looks like you're going to grow. You'll have different people. How do you make sure everybody stays on the same page?
yeah. First of all, it's it's all correct. I think our story sells because it's true, and
That's true. Yeah.
people can see that it's not made. It's not we don't have made that story. It's true, and that's why we speak with our heart, and people knows that this is true. And this is this is the key of our story. I think,
How do you, how do you spread the word in the company? How do you
yeah,
make sure that everybody feels the same way you do?
yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah,
It's hard because we have to pass our vision and our philosophy for others, and it's not easy. But I think the it's easier for the Generation Z because they are growing with that information, and they are changing the world. It's the millennials, some of them, and Generation Z that are the change. So it's not hard for us uh, to pass our philosophy for them, but I think it's because they understand. But I think that the hardest thing is grow that idea in like we want to scale our company fast, and we have to pass our philosophy for fast also for the others. But I think it's hard to pass, but it's easy to involve all the community and all in that philosophy, I think.
it can be done. And I think the key thing is that you saw and your wife saw a problem that directed you very directly, that affected you very directly through your children. And rather than just keep walking down the beach and forgetting about it, you decided to do something about it and to change things. So, congratulations on that. That's very inspiring, Andre.
Thank
And I want to wish you all the best, and I hope this deal we talked about goes through for you. But I'm sure if that one doesn't, you'll get something good will come your way because your heart's in the right place, and you've got a really interesting product. Go to Skizo Shoes, Skizo Shoes.com, and you can order a pair for a reasonable cost, and you can actually mass customize them right to what you want. So thank you, Andre Facote from Skizo, for being
thanks
on
a lot.
the accelerator. It's great to have you, and we hope to talk to you again soon as your success continues because we're really rooting for you. So thanks for
Thank
thanks for being with us.
thank you.
Okay, that's Andre. Really appreciate it. And this is the accelerator with Michael Conniff, and we'll be back before you know it.